this week's parsha that we just read, we spoke about the Kohen Gadol and we spoke about the Nazir. And the Kohen Gadol, very interestingly, is the highest ranking spiritual person in Judaism. He's the holiest person in Judaism. He's the only person who can enter into the Holy of Holies. And it's really an amazing thing that the Kohen Gadol, if his father or mother were to pass away, right, he's allowed to defile himself, come into contact with the deceased. The Nazir, on the other hand, is a simple Jew who decides to take upon himself this status of holiness by accepting on himself to distance himself from any dead body, or from drinking wine, or from getting a haircut, shaving, and that would be 30 days. 30 days is a standard Nazir. Now, if the parents passed away, if the Nazir's parents passed away during this time, they would not be allowed to come into contact with them. Now, here's a Kohen Gadol who's the highest ranking spiritual person in Judaism, and you have a Nazir who's a regular person who decided to do such a nice thing. And if one is allowed to defile themselves, the Kohen Gadol, to their parents who passed away, while the Kohen Gadol, while the Nazir is not allowed to. How do we understand this? So I heard a beautiful shot from the Rabbi Trepp. Rabbi Trepp, not the one from Austin, his father from Manchester, and he said a beautiful idea. He said that the Kohen Gadol, who gave him his spiritual status? His parents, right? He was the son of a Kohen, so he became a Kohen. So the virtue of his spiritual status really comes as an inheritance. But this Nazir, how did he become? He decided on his own. He took upon himself this level of holiness, this level of spirituality. And that, taking his own step to become holy, that's even holier than the Kohen Gadol. I think it's so important for us when we think about ourselves. What's my own growth? What's my own thing? I'm just a little nobody. Who am I? I'm just a little guy in Houston, Texas. What am I? No. You should know that when we accept on ourselves a step in our spirituality, in our growth, in our connection with the Almighty, it could even be higher than that status of the Kohen Gadol. That's how holy it is. And that's what we learn by having this comparison of the Kohen Gadol and the Nazir, one right next to the other. Because otherwise, why would they be one next to the other? To tell us, this one got his status, rightfully got it from his parents. But this one, where did he get it from? His own hard work. This one accepted upon himself. So don't shy away. It's my encouragement to each and every one of us, is not to shy away from taking upon ourselves a new spiritual status. Because the biggest challenge we have is from leaving our comfort zone. We all have our things that we're not ready to let go of. There's a story, I just remembered the story today. I heard this from Rabbi Friend. Rabbi Yisachar Friend, he said an incredible story. He said that there was a rabbi who, this woman became Shomer Shabbos and she started keeping kosher. She wanted the rabbi to come visit her house and to see how she keeps a kosher kitchen and so on and so forth. The rabbi finally comes to see, and he's very impressed, and she shows him the different dishes and everything's fantastic. On his way out, he sees on the coffee table she has chiclets. So he says to her, everything is great, but those chiclets, they've got to go. They're not kosher. So the rabbi said, so she says to the rabbi, she says, you know what? I'm ready to do everything you tell me. Those chiclets, they're not going anywhere. The rabbi said, we all have our chiclets. We all have our hang-ups. We all have our things. At this, I'm not ready to even think of committing myself to kosher, or committing myself to going to synagogue on a regular basis, or learning on a regular basis, or putting on tefillin every day, or lighting Shabbos candles. Everyone has their things. This, no. Right? And the truth is, all it really takes is to accept upon ourselves something small, and it can be like the Nazir, such a high level of spirituality that it even surpasses the level of the Kohen Gadol. Yes?
So every Kohen is a direct descendant of Aaron?
Yeah.
And they always go first when the honors are given?
Yes. They always get first
And
honors.
second honor is always a Levite.
Correct. That's why by the Torah reading, the first aliyah goes, the first calling up to the Torah goes to the Kohen, then goes to the Levi, and then goes to the simpletons, us.
But not
Us Israelites.
But not all Levites are descendants of Moses.
That's correct. Therefore, the Levites are not necessarily descendants of Moses, but from Aaron, right? Aaron's descendants directly are Kohanim, but from the tribe of Levi, those are all the Levites.
Okay.
All right? So that's this idea. I think it's a very, very powerful message for each one of us to learn from the Nazir. There's so much to learn from him. Let's take our steps.